Shema b'ni musar avicha v'al titosh torat imecha. Shema b'ni musar avicha v'al titosh Torah timecha. Torah tziva lanu Moshe Morasha kehilat Yaakov. Torah tziva lanu Moshe Morasha kehilat Yaakov. Torah tziva lanu Moshe Morasha kehilat Yaakov.
Hello, good afternoon, Mazel Tov, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for Zach's Bar Mitzvah. I'm delighted to welcome you as we celebrate this wonderful Simcha. We're going to go right now to the Mott-Cowan house for an introduction by Joanne, Simon, and Ella, and then we'll hear from the man of the moment, Zach. Guys, it's over to you.
Thank you, Rabbi Chapper, and thank you to all our family and friends for joining us online for Zach's virtual bar mitzvah. Zach, obviously this is not the bar mitzvah weekend we had planned and hoped for. Having a lockdown bar mitzvah is definitely not ideal, but you have really impressed us with your complete understanding and acceptance of the situation. In fact, you probably had your most enjoyable week of all time recently when you found out you had to self-isolate and spend a whole week in your room, unable to help with anything around the house and with nothing but the Xbox, TV, and your mobile phone for company.
We are so proud of how hard you have worked to learn your bar mitzvah portion. From the start, you focused well with enthusiasm during both your lessons and practice. Even when your lessons had to move online, that did not faze you, and you have thoroughly enjoyed your FaceTime lessons. Thank you so much to Elliot for helping Zach.
With so many changes in tiers and lockdowns, the plans for this weekend have changed so many times. Although our family and friends could not all join us, we are delighted that in the end you had an opportunity to have a call up in shul and actually learn from the Torah. You performed faultlessly and we are so proud of you.
Zach, you are definitely an individual character. You can be loud, annoying, argumentative, and messy. However, you can also be very funny, sensitive, and extremely kind. For example, when you always make sure that your younger cousin is walked safely to her door after school. You have an amazing sense of humour, which often makes us smile and laugh, although sometimes we end up laughing at you. For example, when you see a dog off a leash, and no matter how small it is, you think it's going to eat you, which has made our daily lockdown walks very amusing.
You have many things that you enjoy doing. You love scouts and camping. You really enjoy cooking, even if you do get a bit stroppy whilst doing it and leave the kitchen in a complete mess. You also love football and thankfully take after your papa and me and support Arsenal. Hopefully we will be able to go to matches together again soon.
As well as watching football, You also, when lockdown permits, enjoy playing Sunday League football with your friends. I have been the manager for quite a few years and enjoy our Sunday afternoons together, although a few more wins would be nice.
Your main love, though, is cars. You are obsessed. If you are not talking about different makes of cars and engines, then you are watching Top Gear and the Grand Tour on repeat. In fact, that is the only time you seem able to sit still. You even knew all the car badges before you knew your ABC.
You and I have been on many memorable trips to motor racing events. You love watching the cars go round the track and listening to the loud engines. We have been lucky enough to be able to go into the pits on some occasions and see the cars up close. I can't wait to be able to go with you again.
You can also be a liability. You had both your front teeth knocked out in separate incidents. You have been on quite a few trips to A&E for different accidents and injuries. You break your glasses on a very regular basis. You trip over things that aren't even there. You also managed to get stuck in a water slide with me, which was a really terrifying way to spend your 10th birthday. However, we wouldn't want you any other way.
Continue to be the person you are. We hope you grow up with the same caring, loving, and bubbly personality that you have, although perhaps you could do with a bit more focus and organisation. Seriously though, we are incredibly blessed to have you as our son because you bring so much fun and joy to our lives.
Zach, when you were first born and came home from the hospital, I thought you were my favourite doll, Millie, lying in your carry cot. Unfortunately, I was in for a massive shock, as you were not the silent, angelic doll I originally thought you were. Instead, I was stuck with a loud, annoying brother who, ever since that first day, has not been able to sit still for more time than it takes to say Mazel Tov. Having said that, you could be the cutest, sweetest person. This is particularly the case when you are ill, though. You are really a lot of fun to be around. I know I will never get bored of spending time with you because we share so many interests. I love playing football with you, whether that is outside, in the loft, or FIFA on the Xbox. Of course, with my team Liverpool being the reigning champions and your team Arsenal not, we do enjoy a healthy rivalry. I also love playing table tennis with you, although we might have to stop soon as you are catching up and reaching my level. Over the years, we have made up many games or activities of our own, and even throughout last year, with so many things being cancelled, we've experienced many amazing moments together, including camping in the garden, sleepovers in the loft, countless walks, and plenty of cooking. Being the organised one out of us has its drawbacks. I'm continually forced to wait for you to get your shoes on, do your laces up, fill up your water, turn your light off, and many more things before we can leave for school. Even though you've only been at Yavna with me for a year and a half, and a lot of that time has been online, you still, without fail, manage to be late every day. This lateness not only affects me, but also the long line of people we walk with. But I think we'll all have to get used to this, as you will never change. On the other hand, it could be your brain that makes you forget things, as you excel in many other areas. So maybe it's just the organisation and timekeeping that are lacking. You are incredible at science, and you also have a tendency to remember weird and wonderful facts. You can relay useful and pointless information, such as the most poisonous snake in the world to Jean Valjean's number in Les Mis, without hesitation. I love you so much, even if it seems that I don't, as the words I say most to you are, get out of my room, shut my door, or leave me alone. Thank you for being the best brother most of the time. And although this isn't how you expected to celebrate, I hope you can safely say you've really enjoyed your weekend. Mazel Tov, Zach. Now it's over to you for your learning in half Torah.
ועשית פרוכת תכלת וגמן בתולת שני ושש משא מעשה חושב יעשה אותה קריבים ונתת אותה על 4 עמידי שתים מציפין זהב ובהם זהב על 4 אדני כסף ונתת את הפרוכת תחת הכרסים והבדילה הפרוכת לכם בין הקודש ובין קודש הקודשים, ונתת את הכפורת על ארון העדות בקודש הקודשים, ושמת את השולחן מחוץ לפרוכת, ואת המנורה נוכח השולחן על צלע המשכן תימנה, והשולחן תיתן על צלע צפון. ועשית מסך לפתח האוהל, תכלת וארגמן, בתולת שני ושש משא, מעשה רוקם. ועשית למסך 5 עמידי שתים, וציבית אותם זהב, ובהם זהב, ויצקת להם 5 אדני נחושת. ועשית את המזבח עצי שתים, 5 אמות אורך ו5 אמות רוחב, רבוע יהיה המזבח ו3 אמות קומתו. ועשית קרנותיו על 4 פינותיו, ממנו תהיינה קרנותיו, וציבית אותו נחושת. ועשית סירותיו לדשנו, ויב עם מסרקותיו, עם מזלגותיו, עם מחטותיו, לכל כליו תעשה נחושת. ועשית לו מחבא, מעשה רשת נחושת. ועשית על הרשת 4 טבעות נחושת על 4 קצותיו, ונתת אותה תחת קרקב המזבח מלמטה, והייתה הרשת עד חצי המזבח. ועשית בדים למזבח, בדי עצי שתים, וציבית אותם נחושת. והיווה את בדיו בטבעות, והיו הבדים על שתי צולות המזבח בשאת אותו, נבוב לחוץ תעשה אותו, כאשר הראה אותך כן יעשו. ועשית את חצר המשכן לפרוץ נגב תימנה, כלאים לחצר 6 משא, 100 אורך לפיה אחת, ועמידה ב20 באדניהם 20 נחושת, ועבי המידים וחשוקיהם כסף, וכן לפת צפון באורך, כלאים 100 אורך, ועמידה ב20 ואדניהם 20 נחושת, ועבי המידים וחשוקיהם כסף. ורוחב החצר לפת ים, כלאים 50 אמה, עמידיהם 10 ואדניהם 10. ורוחב החצר לפת קדמה מזרחה 50 אמה, ו15 אמה, כלאים לכתף, עמידיהם 3 ואדניהם 3. ולכתף השנית 15 כלאים, עמידיהם 3 ואדניהם 3. על שעה החצר מסך 20 אמה, תכלת ארגמן בתולת שני, ו6 משא מעשה רוקם, עמידיהם 4 ואדניהם 4. כלמידי החצר סביב מחושקים כסף, בביהם כסף ואדניהם נחושת. אורך החצר 100 אמה ורוחב 50 ו50, וקומה 5 אמות 6 משא, ואדניהם נחושת. לכו כלי המשכן בכל עבודתו, וכל יתדותיו, וכל עתו תחצה נחושת. כה אמר אדוני צבאות פקדתי את אשר עשה עמלק לישראל אשר שם לו בדרך בעלותו ממצרים. עתה לך והכית את עמלק והחרמתם את כל אשר לו ולא תחמול עליו והמרת מאיש עד אישה מעלל ועד יונק מישור ועד שא מגמר ועד חמור. וישמע שאול את העם ויקדם בצלעים 200,000 רגלי ו10,000 את איש יהודה. ויבוא שאול עד עמלק וירף בנחל ויאמר שאול אל הקנים לכו סירו רדו מתוך עמלקי ונוספך עמו ואתה עשית חסד עם כל בני ישראל בעלתה ממצרים ויסכני מתוך עמלק. ויך שאול את עמלק מחביליו אשר על פני מצרים ויתפוס את אגג מלך עמלק חי ואת כל העם החרים לפי חרב. ויחמול שאול והעם על אגג ועל מיטב הצאן והבקר והמשנים ועל הכורים ועל כל הטוב ולא אביו החרימם וכל המלאכה נמבצע ונמס אותה החרימו. ויהי דבר אדוני אל שמואל לאמור נחמתי כי המלכתי את שאול המלך כי שב מאחרי ואת דברי לא הקים. ויחל לשמואל ויזעק אל אדוני כל הלילה וישכם שמואל לקראת שאול בבוקר ויגד לשמואל לאמור בשאול הכרמלה והנה מעשיב לו יד ויסתור ויעבור וירא את הגלגל. ויבוא שמואל אל שאול ויאמר לו שאול ברוך אתה לאדוני הקימותי את דבר אדוני. ויאמר שמואל ומה כל הצאן הזה באוזני וכל הבקר אשר אנוכי שומע. ויאמר שאול מעמלקי הביאם אשר חמל העם על מיטב הצאן והבקר למען זבוח לאדוני אלוהיך ואת חיותיך רמנו. ויאמר שמואל אל שאול הרף ואגיד אליך את אשר דיבר אדוני אלי הלילה. ויאמר לו דבר. ויאמר שמואל הלא אם קטון אתה בעיניך ראש שבטי ישראל אתה וימשכך אדוני למלך על ישראל וישלחך אדוני בדרך ויאמר לך והחרמת את החטאים את עמלק ונלחמת בו עד כלותם אותם. ולמה לא שמעת בקול אדוני ותת אל השלל ותת הרע בעיני אדוני. ויאמר שאול אל שמואל אשר שמעתי בקול אדוני ואלך בדרך אשר שלחני אדוני ואביא את אגג מלך עמלק ואת עמלק החרנתי ויקח העם השלל צאן אבקר ראשית החרם לטבוח לאדוני אלוהיך בגלגל ויאמר שמואל החפץ לאדוני בעולות זבחים כי שמו בקול אדוני הנה שמוע מזבח טוב להקשיב מהלב אלים כי חטאת קסם מרי ואבן וטרפים הפצע ין מעשת דבר אדוני וימשך ממלך ויאמר שאול אל שמואל חטאתי כי עברתי את פי אדוני ואת דבריך כי יראתי את העם ואשמע בקולם ואתה שנא את חטאתי ושוב עמי ואשתחווה לאדוני ויאמר שמואל אל שאול לא אשוב עמך כי מאסת את דבר אדוני וימשך אדוני להיות מלך על ישראל ויסוף שמואל ללכת ויחזק בכנף מעילו ויקרא ויאמר אליו שמואל קרא אדוני את ממלכת ישראל מעליך היום ונתנה לרעך הטוב ממך וגם נצח ישראל לא ישקע ולא ינחם כי לא אדם הוא להנחם ויאמר חטאתי אתה כבדני נא נגד זקני עמי ונגד ישראל ושוב עמי והשתחוויתי לאדוני אלוהיך וישב שמואל אחרי שאול וישתחי שאול לאדוני ויאמר שמואל הגישו אלי את אגג מלך עמלק וילך אליו אגג מתנות ויאמר אגג אכן שמה המוות ויאמר שמואל כאשר שקלה נשים בך כן תשקול מנשים ממך וישוסף שמואל את אגג לפני אדוני בגלגל וילך שמואל הרמתה ושאול עלה אל ביתו גבעת שאול.
Wow, Zach, that was fantastic. A huge yashar cry up to you. What a marathon. 33 verses and half Torah and all those psukim in the Torah as well. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, yashar to you. Take a deep breath. That's to ask your parents to come and make a special blessing, releasing them a responsibility for you, and then giving you their special parental blessing.
Baruch Shef Tarani Ma'ansha Shel Zeh.
Blessed is he who has released me from the responsibility for this child.
Yisimcha Elohim ba'Ephraim v'Menashe.
May you be like Ephraim and Manasseh.
Yivarechacha Adonai v'Yishmerecha.
The Lord bless and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
The Lord turn his face unto you and give you peace.
Amen. Mazel Tov to you all. Now I'm delighted to ask your Bar Mitzvah teacher Elliot to say a few words to you. Elliot, over to you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Zach, what can I say? Absolutely phenomenal. Your laning and your singing of your Haftorah was absolutely sensational. You have been an absolute treasure to teach, Zach, pre-lockdown, during lockdown. Your enthusiasm has never wavered. I've seen you grow from a cub and then into a scout through 16th Edgeware, and I've seen the young man that you've become. And you're a real credit to your parents, Joe and Simon, and I know your sister is rightly proud of you as well, along with your grandparents. I was so So very proud of you in shul and through lockdown. It has not been easy, but you embraced it totally. You never let your standards drop, and you continued working as hard as you could. Zach, I wish you all the best for the future, and I'm so very proud to have been your teacher. Well done.
Oh, thank you so much, Eddie. What a beautiful message to you. You should be very rightly proud of him. Now, Zach, Mazel Tov to you on your bar mitzvah. Someone's just leaving me a message also wishing you Mazel Tov. Let's just wait for them to leave that message for a second. Mazel Tov also to your parents, you, Joanne and Simon, and to your grandparents, Susan and Roger Wolf, and Jackie and Edward Mott-Cowan. And Mazel to the rest of your family and friends in Liverpool, Manchester, and those closer to home but not in your home. And of course, not forgetting your sister Ella, your favorite sister. Zach, they all quite rightly shep so much nachas from you today, and I'm sure you're aware how very proud they are of you. Zach, your laning and your half Torah were excellent, simply superb. As Elliot said, phenomenal, flawless, and I'm really, really impressed. I'm so glad on Pasha Zachor, when we try and remember what Amalek did, that we have a recording of this laning now to remember the fantastic way that you have done your laning and half Torah. You've clearly worked very hard to prepare for your bar mitzvah, and it's really, really paid off. So credit to you and to your teacher, Elliot. Now, this may not have been quite the bar mitzvah that you were expecting, but this is still very much a very welcome simcha for you and your family. And it was great speaking with you recently and getting to know you a little bit. And I heard that you're smart, you're fun to be around, you can be cheeky a bit and a bit of a logos. But you also like to know how things work, and you enjoy watching and playing football, as you heard, and you're active in Scouts. And I understand that we actually share an interest in cars. We heard you like Top Gear and motor racing, especially Formula One. And your favorite car, you told me, is a Koenigsegg, whereas I actually prefer a Bugatti Veyron or a Ferrari. And you know what? It got me thinking that the fact that you like cars so much, that someone said obsessed with cars, it seems quite appropriate that your bar mitzvah should be on Zoom. Now, your interest in cars reminded me of the story about a rabbi and a priest who were involved in a freak accident. It was a head-on collision. Both cars were total wrecks, but amazingly, neither of the religious men had a scratch on them. And after they crawled out of their cars, the rabbi sees the priest's collar and he says, "So you're a priest? Well, I'm a rabbi. Just look at our cars. There's nothing left. And yet, we are here, unhurt. This must be a sign from God." And pointing to the sky, the rabbi continues, "God must have meant that we should meet and share in our lives in peace and friendship for the rest of our days on earth." And the priest agrees. He says, "I agree with you completely, Rabbi. This must certainly be a sign from God." And the rabbi is looking at his car and he exclaims, "And look at this. Here's another miracle. My car is totally demolished, but this bottle of wine didn't break. Surely God wants us to drink this wine and celebrate our good fortune." And the priest nods in agreement. And the rabbi hands the bottle to the priest, who drinks half the bottle and then hands it back to the rabbi. The rabbi takes the bottle and immediately puts the lid on, then hands it back to the priest. Now the priest, baffled, asks, "Aren't you having any, Rabbi?" And the rabbi replies, "Nah, I think I'll wait for the police." Zach, I don't know what we can learn from that story, but you know, there is an important lesson that we can all learn from cars, and one that's particularly relevant for you now that you're bar mitzvah. You see, every car, whatever it is, comes with a manual, a guide from the car maker for the owner, so they can know the technical details about their car, how to maintain it, and to maximize its performance. And every sensible and responsible owner will follow the guidance in that manual. Why? Because they understand that the manufacturer knows everything there is to know about that car. And the advice that's in that manual is for their benefit, so that the car works properly and they get the best out of it. Now, of course, the owner can also ignore the manual. They can decide to use different fuel than the one recommended. They can choose not to inflate the tires to the correct pressure, and they can elect not to change the oil regularly or not even to bother to service their car. But Zach, what will happen?
What will happen if you don't?
It will break.
That's right, the car won't work very well, will it?
No.
Yeah, it's not going to win any race. And the owners are not going to enjoy the best performance out of it, and they certainly won't be happy when eventually it will break down. So, Zach, we're very lucky. You're very lucky. You see, we, the Jewish people, were given our very own manual, an all-encompassing guide to life. We call it the Torah. And it was given to us by our manufacturer or our creator, by God himself. And it provides us with the technical details about life, how to maintain it, how to live it best, and how to maximize our existence. And so God gave us mitzvahs such as Shabbos to remind us that if we work for 6 days, then the best thing for us is to rest for 1 day a week. He gave us the idea of the mitzvah of kashrus to teach us that it's important what we put into our mouths, because not only does it affect our body, but also our soul. And then we have the prohibition about lashon hara, about speaking negatively about other people, to highlight that what comes out of our mouth is equally as important as what we put into it, and how that it can impact on other people and the world around us. And in just one verse, the Torah encapsulates this whole idea, because God tells us, "Hachayim v'hamaves nasati lefanecha." I place before you life and death, a blessing and a curse. And then 2 words of advice. Uvarchata b'chayim. Choose life. Zach, just like a car owner, we're free to choose whether we follow the manual or not. Zach, now you're bar mitzvah. That's your choice as well. And I think you understand this. You're a sensitive, intelligent, caring young man. You have a strong set of principles. So just remember that the Torah and mitzvahs were given to us for our benefit. And if you follow them, then your life will be so much more valuable and fulfilling than even a Kernizet. Now, I don't know what car you'll drive in the future, and none of us can. But if you follow the path of the Torah, then you'll be assured that you'll reach your destination, and God will bless you at every step of the way. And you'll be a source of great nachas and simcha to your dear parents, to your family, to your community, and ultimately to God himself. Mazel Tov to you. Now, I'm delighted to make a special Mishiberach on this occasion, of the occasion of your bar mitzvah. Mishiberach Avoseinu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Yivarech Es Abacha bar mitzvah. Peretz ben Shimon Moshe, Shmadu Loish Loish Shana Vehigul Mitzvos, Adonai Torah say Sheva Voda, Akol Atavashik Maltitoi, Rish Baruch Hu Yishmerei Yatzilei, Umikol Samsuna, Umikon Nego Nakala, Liasem Vlibo Avasoi Virasoi, Velasoi Susoi Nolov Dobre Vashen Kolayamim, Venoma, Amen. May he who blessed our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, may he bless Zach Mott-Cowan, who has attained his 13th birthday, reached the age to perform at mitzvahs and has been called to the Torah to give praise and thanks for all the good things that you have done for him. May the Holy One, blessed be he, protect him, save him from all trouble and distress and from every plague, virus, and disease. May he implant in his heart the desire to love and revere him, desire to do his will with a perfect heart throughout his life. And let us say, Amen. Zach, Mazel Tov to you. Now, I'm delighted to ask Ella to present you with your bar mitzvah certificate. Ella, it's over to you.
This is presented to Zach Mott-Cowan on the occasion of his bar mitzvah.
Mazel Tov!
Thank you. Hi, thank you for coming to my virtual bar mitzvah, and thank you too for the generous gifts and messages that you have sent. They have made me feel with you when I'm not. I hope you're all comfy on your sofas and that you enjoyed my Sedra and Haftorah. However, none of this would have been possible without many people. Firstly, Elliot, thank you so much for teaching me my bar mitzvah. You have also somehow made learning, something that was fixed as boring in my mind, fun. I would love to know how you do it, but I doubt you will ever let up your secrets. And it's not only the learning that was fun, but it was also the lessons where we would laugh and almost sometimes cry about Arsenal, how Arsenal was about how Arsenal were doing. Louise and Josh Moot, thank you for your help in organising and live streaming this special day. Without you, no one would even be here watching me before my bar mitzvah. Mummy and Daddy, thank you for putting up with me for all this time. Even though I may not be the best behaved child in the world, you have still managed to tolerate me for almost 13 years. Without you, none of this would have been possible. So thanks for the best weekend ever. Ella, thank you for being the best sister in the world. All joking aside though, you have and always will be there for me. When we get on, which admittedly isn't very often, we have the best time and create the best memories. Like a few weeks ago when it snowed, you persuaded me just about to wait until the snow was thick enough to play properly. We played in the snow for hours and built our not-so-sturdy friend, John the Snowman. And who knew football in the snow was so fun, yet slippy? Ella, thank you for being my sister. Finally, thank you again to all my friends and family who have, over Zoom, made this weekend feel very special.
Simmen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simmen Tov. Simmen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simmen Tov. Simmen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simmen Tov. Yeah, hey lanu. Simmen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simmen Tov. Simmen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simmen Tov. Simmen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simmen Tov. Yeah, hey lanu.